we are in a just kind of informative video here. This is going to be over a infinite ammo exploit, if you will, or tip for bukus and bukus of ammo. Now this is not unlimited per se, but it will be pretty substantial amounts of ammo. And so you have over here on the left side an AT gun. In the middle you have infantry class for AT infantry. You have a mounted 50 cal on a M24 Chaffee, and then you have a stationary M2 Browning 50 cal machine gun. The only thing I obviously don't have is like a mortar, but in places that or artillery, I do have a field gun. So essentially,
I'm ready.
As we all know, supply trucks or supply crates are how we resupply infantry and with our ammo. Now,
Awaiting orders,
take
sir.
the Chaffee for example. You only have 18 armor-piercing rounds, 24 HE, and 5 white phosphorus. But the big thing is it doesn't matter if it's the Chaffee, or if you look in, you have the 76, or anything of that nature. Aside from the 90 millimeter with the 50 cal on top, and also the, I believe, the Hellcat with the mounted 50 cal, you're only getting about 200 to 500 rounds of 50 caliber machine gun, which isn't a lot. This goes kind of across the board. Now you do have a lot of hull and turret ammo with your 30 cal machine gun. Same thing can be said with the mounted or the stationary machine gun. Only 500 rounds, so you got 600 rounds here, which is a significant amount, but it's not a lot, especially if you're playing Conquest or long-term multiplayer, or even the campaign missions.
Awaiting orders.
Field guns, 36, and AP, which is a lot actually, and then 13 HE, which is not. Now, the AT, you don't have as many bazooka rounds with the AT gun. So anyone that's played this game and either not know this exploit, or you do because you've either figured it out on your own or watched me, but this is just basically a little tip and trick, if you will, so to speak, on how to get unlimited ammo, or more ammo in per se. I'm not trying to clickbait you, but this is a unique way to do something. So, what you want to do is you'll need either an infantryman, or some way to transfer the
Ready to go, sir.
inventory from one item to another. And essentially, so if I wanted to replace the 50 cal machine gun ammunition and get more of it, essentially all I would do is go with either the 50 cal machine gun or the supply truck and examine the other's inventory, as you see here in the top left corner. Now here's the 50 cal, and here is the supply truck on the left. Now what I'll do is I can right click or just click and drag, and it will begin to replenish the stock or standard coated ammunition base for the unit which is selected here. So it will replenish and fill up X, Y, and Z. Now I can drag and click, and now I have 1,000 rounds. Now the only caveat with this is you can see the yellow bar here on the supply truck. That's how much supplies is left, and then here I have 957 out of 1,000 left. That is a option.
Ready, sir.
Now infantry is another option.
Understood,
This works
sir. Any
for
orders, sir?
basically anything. The only thing on infantry will not work on is a artillery signaler. You cannot get more artillery signaling flares. That is one infantry class that does not work.
Ready to go,
Now,
sir.
Say the AT crew, for example.
We better be getting some rations
What
today.
I can do here is the AT is fixed, so I will not be getting any more rounds for this. But these Willie Pete's, for example, I don't really care about Willie Pete's, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now, what if I wanted to do is I can take these Willie Pete rounds out, and you can start seeing it replenishes another Willie Pete round. So I might have to keep that in there. But what I can do is I can take all these heat rounds out, and I'll start replenishing my lost ammo, which would be 3 additional heat rounds. I can continue this process as long as there is inventory space in this. So the better way to do this, if the infantryman was not available, is go straight up to the supply truck, as we've seen with the 50 cal. Once I get a sufficient amount of ammo, then I can just go back in here and give my bazooka man all the HE rounds, and then if I'm quick, boom. Now I went from having 5 to 15. There. Now I can be an effective unit on the battlefield with 15
Right on it, sir.
bazooka rounds. The same
Ready,
thing
sir.
can be across the board for artillery units as well.
Ready, sir.
So, if for whatever reason some armor-piercing rounds in certain units are not enough, so I can do the same thing. I can take the AT out, I can replenish the AT, I can even do HE at the same time, and they'll simultaneously go. Now I cannot replenish the sandbags, that is stationary. I can also not replace the supply or the repair kits because they come in stock, and those are fixed assets within the game, and they will not be replenished only until the game is over. And then in the Conquest series, they are replenished to base stats that the game is coded to at the beginning of each match
ready
that
to
you
send
play in
rounds
Conquest,
downrange.
whether you're attacking or defending. So once this is completed, for the sake of time, so you get to see it's 25, so then I'll give back that. Now I have 61 rounds and 28 or 26 rounds. Lastly,
Of course, sir.
as we see here, the tanks are the alternate option, and mainly the thing with tanks is either you don't have enough AP rounds, which is a bummer, and the hull turret for the Dishka and the 50 caliber machine gun for sure are not plenishable amounts. You have the Germans faction, and they have a lot of, you know, MG34, MG42 ammo with the 7.92, but there isn't enough 50 caliber Dishka to go around. So what I like to do is, in certain case scenarios, if I know it's going to be a lengthy battle, I'll do the same exact thing, and I'll replenish my tanks, anti-air, anti-infantry, top turret gun on top, and then I will replenish the AP
I guess we just
rounds.
wait here.
You can do this during a fight, but you know, I caution you about that. And then you can also do this at the beginning of a match or in a lull period of the fight. So one thing I like to do is I will get a substantial amount of 50 caliber ammo and just, you know, put it in the inventory of the supply truck, and then once I get done, I'll be good to go. So if I wanted to simultaneously let this all sit, I could also do this for AG. The Willie Pete rounds, smoke rounds, does not work for demolition, does not work for repair kits, and would not work for the jerry can. So once that's done, now I have 1,700 50 cal machine gun, I have 50 armor piercing rounds, 24 HE, which I didn't start replacing, and the Willie Pete rounds. This will work for essentially any unit that you have. This is included the infantry all around. The only thing, again, that will not be replenished will be lost weapons. You cannot, for example, you cannot have a lost weapon replenished. That is something that is a fixed asset as well. So you will have to get a new weapon or find the weapon you dropped. The other thing again is the special for the artillery signaler. I cannot get more flares for my weapon system. Now, other things though in the inventory that are stock, such as ammunition, can be replaced. Hand grenades can be replaced. Smoke grenades, medic kits, they all can be replaced. Fixed assets such as radio or helmets do not. And then lastly, anything basically tank wise will be replenishable, other than again the jerry can and or the repair kits. Artillery is the same faction, or is the same way. If I want to have an artillery piece of some type, fill gun.
Right on it, sir.
Just reinforcing the point here, guys. This is, elementary at this point for you seeing this video. If I want to have more HE rounds to be able to have sustained fire for a long period of time, I can go ahead and do this. So again, this will work for essentially every unit that you have in the battlefield. And then 10, so now we have 30, 15, and 8, right? So again, this will not work for a artillery signaler for the flares, but it does work for all the other baseline items. Again, this will also work for machine guns. It works for mortars. It works for AT guns, tanks, artillery, you name it. And above all, infantry. So without further ado, guys, I appreciate all the likes, comments, and subscriptions to the channel. We're going to go out with a bang here. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.